Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a deep breath, close your eyes for a moment, and imagine what your life would look like if you stopped holding back, if you truly embraced every challenge, every obstacle as an opportunity to grow. Because here's the truth, you are not defined by your failures. You are defined by how you rise from them. When life knocks you down, you don't stay down. You get up every single time. I know it's hard. I know the moments come when you feel like you've given everything you have and there's just nothing left. But as I stand here in front of you, I want to tell you something powerful. Each time you come up against something that seems impossible, each time you encounter a roadblock that feels insurmountable, I want you to remember this, that moment, that challenge is an opportunity in disguise. It is the universe giving you a chance to show up as the best version of yourself, to dig deeper than you ever have before, and to rise above whatever is standing in your way. There is greatness in every challenge you face, but you have to be willing to see it. Too often we look at obstacles and we say to ourselves, this is too much. I can't handle this. We get overwhelmed. We start to doubt ourselves. We begin to shrink in the face of adversity. But I'm here to tell you today, don't shrink. Don't back down. Don't let the weight of the challenge push you into a corner where you feel small and powerless. Instead, stand tall. Look that obstacle in the eye and say, you will not break me. You will not stop me. I am stronger than you and I will find a way. When we change the way we look at our challenges, everything changes. What if instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, we saw them as insolvent blocks, we saw them as invitations to grow? What if instead of feeling defeated by setbacks, we embrace them as a part of our journey? Because the truth is, growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. Growth happens when we are pushed, stretched, and challenged to go beyond what we thought was possible. It is in the moments when we feel like giving up that we are being prepared for something greater. Think about it. Every success story you've ever heard, every person you admire, every achievement that inspires you, it's not the smooth path that made those stories powerful. It's the obstacles they had to overcome. It's the resilience they built along the way. It's the times they fell down and got back up, the times they were told no and kept pushing forward anyway. It's the nights they cried, the days they doubted, but still refused to quit. When you are faced with a challenge, remember that you have the power to turn that challenge into your greatest strength. The adversity you're facing is the very thing that's going to prepare you for the next level of your life. It is shaping you, molding you, preparing you for what's to come. But you have to be willing to embrace it. You have to be willing to lean into the discomfort, to sit with the pain, and to trust that it is all working for your good. Now, I know this is not always easy. There will be moments when you will question why things are so hard, why you have to go through so much. There will be times when the weight of it all feels too heavy to bear, but in those moments, I want you to remember that the obstacle is not there to defeat you. It is there to elevate you. It is there to help you discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. It is there to strengthen you for the journey ahead. You see, the universe has a funny way of teaching us. It doesn't give us what we want in the way we expect. It gives us lessons wrapped in challenges. It gives us strength disguised as struggle. It gives us opportunities dressed up as obstacles. And it is only when we look back after we've made it through that we realize those obstacles were exactly what we needed to become who we were meant to be. So the next time you face a challenge, I want you to take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is not the end. This is not a setback. This is not the universe working against me. This is an opportunity. This is life's way of saying you are ready for more. You are ready to grow. You are ready to step into a new level of yourself. And when you can shift your mindset to see your obstacles as opportunities, everything changes. Because the truth is, life is going to keep throwing challenges your way. That's just the nature of the journey, but you get to decide how you respond. You get to decide whether you let those challenges defeat you or whether you use them as fuel to push you forward. You get to decide whether you give up or whether you rise. And I want to encourage you today to rise, to face every obstacle with the mindset of a warrior, to embrace every challenge with the heart of a champion, because that is who you are. You are a warrior. You are a champion. And nothing, not a single obstacle, not a single setback, not a single challenge can stop you unless you let it. So don't let it. Don't let the weight of the world crush your spirit. Don't let the difficulties of life make you forget how powerful you are. You were not put here to play small. You were not put here to shrink in the face of adversity. You were put here to rise above, to break through, and to create a life that is beyond your wildest dreams. And you can do it. You have everything you need inside of you right now. The strength, the resilience, the courage, it's all there. All you have to do is tap into it. All you have to do is believe in yourself, even when the world is telling you to give up. So when life throws obstacles in your way, don't see them as the end of the road. See them as a stepping stone. See them as the very thing that's going to catapult you into your next level. Because you are capable of more than you know. You are stronger than you think. And if you can learn to turn your obstacles into opportunities, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Now, I'm not just talking about people who are fun to be around or who say nice things to you every now and then. I'm talking about the kind of people who truly elevate you, people who challenge you to be better, people who see your potential even when you can't see it yourself, people who in the quiet moments push you to keep going when you feel like giving up. These are the people who will not only support your dreams, but will also help you become the person you need to be to achieve them. We all know how easy it is to get comfortable with the people we've known for a long time. It's natural to want to stay in familiar circles, but let me tell you, growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when we stretch ourselves, when we seek out those who inspire us to rise above where we are now, who motivate us to reach for more. And sometimes that means stepping outside of the relationships that no longer serve who we are becoming. The truth is, not everyone in your life is going to lift you higher. Some people will drain your energy. Some people will discourage your dreams, not because they mean to, but because they can't see past their own limitations. Some people, even with the best of intentions, will hold you back simply because they are afraid of what your growth might mean for them. It is up to you to recognize who in your life is lifting you up and who is holding you down. There's an old saying that goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a second. The people you interact with every day, the people you confide in, the people whose opinions you value, they shape your energy, your mindset, and your actions. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, by doubt, by people who don't believe in you or in themselves, how can you expect to soar? But if you surround yourself with people who are positive, who are driven, who see the world through the lens of possibility, that energy becomes contagious. It inspires you, it fuels you, it pushes you to go beyond your comfort zone. I want you to imagine what your life would look like if you were surrounded by people who constantly cheered you on, people who pushed you to be your best, people who believed in you even in your darkest moments. Imagine what it would feel like to have a circle of friends and mentors who are always there to remind you of your greatness, to help you see the light when everything feels dark, and to hold you accountable to your highest potential. What kind of energy would that bring into your life? What kind of person would you become in that environment? The people you choose to surround yourself with should be the ones who want to see you win. The ones who aren't afraid to call you out when you're playing small, the ones who celebrate your successes and lift you up when you stumble. And you, in turn, should be that kind of person for them. Because relationships are not a one-way street. It's about giving as much as you receive. It's about lifting each other higher together. Let's talk about what happens when you're around people who elevate you. First, they help you see what's possible. Sometimes we can't see our own potential because we're too close to our own limitations. But when someone else sees something in you, it can ignite a spark. It can help you realize that you are capable of so much more than you ever thought. People who elevate you don't let you settle. They challenge you to step outside of what feels safe, to push the boundaries of what you believe you can achieve. They hold you to a higher standard, not because they want to pressure you, but because they believe in your greatness. And let me tell you, when you start to believe in yourself the way the right people believe in you, that's when the magic happens. That's when you start taking risks. That's when you stop playing it safe. That's when you step into your full power. But you need people around you who will encourage that kind of growth, who will remind you of what you're capable of, especially in those moments when self-doubt creeps in. Second, when you're around people who lift you, you start to see challenges differently. You stop seeing obstacles as reasons to give up, and instead, you start seeing them as opportunities for growth. That's because the right people don't let you stay in a place of fear or negativity for too long. They help you shift your perspective. They remind you that every setback is just a setup for a comeback. They help you stay grounded when things feel overwhelming, and they remind you to keep your eyes on the prize. And then there's the power of inspiration. When you surround yourself with people who are constantly striving for more, who are chasing their own dreams, who are living with purpose and passion, it rubs off on you. Their energy, their determination, their commitment to their own journey inspires you to step up your game. It reminds you that you're not alone in your pursuit of greatness, that there are others on the same path, and that together you can achieve so much more than you ever could alone. Let's be real for a moment. Life is hard sometimes. There are going to be days when you feel like you're not good enough, when everything feels like it's fallen apart and you can't see a way forward. On those days, it is crucial to have people in your life who can help you carry the weight, people who remind you of your strength when you feel weak, people who don't let you give up when you're ready to throw in the towel, people who love you enough to tell you the truth, even when it's hard to hear. The people you surround yourself with should inspire you to become the best version of yourself. They should encourage your growth, not out of selfishness, but out of love. They should challenge you to dream bigger, to aim higher, and to never settle for less than what you deserve. And when you find those people, those rare, precious souls who truly have your back, hold on to them. Cherish those relationships because they are invaluable. Now, let me be clear, this doesn't mean that every relationship in your life has to be perfect. We are all human. We all have flaws. We all have moments when we fall short of being the best friend, the best partner, or the best supporter we can be. But the key is to surround yourself with people who are committed to growth, both in themselves and in you. People who aren't afraid to evolve, to change, to learn, and to grow along with you. And if you find that there are people in your life who consistently bring you down, who drain your energy, who make you doubt yourself, it's okay to let them go. It's okay to create space for people who will lift you higher. It's not about cutting people out of your life in a harsh or cruel way. It's about recognizing who aligns with your journey, who supports your growth, and who helps you become the person you are meant to be. I want you to take a moment and think about the people in your life right now. Who are the ones who lift you up? Who are the ones who encourage you to keep going, who remind you of your strength, who push you to be your best self? And then who are the ones who drain your energy, who cast doubt on your dreams, who leave you feeling small? It's important to take stock of the energy you allow into your life because it shapes your future. Your circle is your support system. They are the people who will help you rise to your highest potential. And when you surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you, who inspire you, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So be intentional about the relationships you cultivate. Seek out those who elevate you, and be that person for others as well. Now, let's talk about what that looks like in practice. Have you ever been around someone who believes in you so deeply that it shifts the way you see yourself? Someone who speaks life into your dreams, who supports you not just in the good times, but when things are falling apart. That kind of belief, that kind of support is transformative. It gives you the courage to take risks, to step into unknown territory, to chase dreams that might seem impossible. Because when you have someone in your corner who believes in you, it reinforces the belief you have in yourself. But here's the thing, it's not enough to just surround yourself with people who are positive. You need people who will challenge you. People who aren't afraid to call you out when you're playing small. People who won't let you stay in a place of comfort for too long. Growth happens when we're uncomfortable, and the right people in your life will push you into that discomfort because they see something in you that maybe you don't see yet. Think about the people who've had the greatest impact on your life. I guarantee you they weren't the ones who just told you what you wanted to hear. They were the ones who told you what you needed to hear. They were the ones who encouraged you to keep going when you wanted to give up, who reminded you of your worth when you doubted yourself, who pushed you to go further than you thought possible. Those are the people who lift you higher. Those are the people who help you grow. But in order to attract those kinds of people into your life, you also have to be that kind of person. You have to be willing to give as much as you receive. You have to be willing to show up for others in the same way you want them to show up for you. Because true, meaningful relationships are built on reciprocity. They're built on a foundation of trust, respect, and mutual support. It's not just about what you can get from others, it's about what you can give, how you can pour into someone else's life, how you can lift someone else up when they need it most. So I want you to think about the energy you bring into your relationships. Are you someone who lifts others up? Are you someone who believes in other people's dreams as much as your own? Are you someone who shows up when it's hard, who offers support even when you don't have all the answers? Because the energy you bring into your relationships is the energy you will attract. And if you want to be surrounded by people who will elevate you, you need to be that kind of person for others. Let me tell you something, the journey to success is long, and it's filled with twists and turns. There will be moments of doubt, moments when you question if you're on the right path, moments when it feels like everything is falling apart. And in those moments, the people you have around you will make all the difference. The people who believe in you will remind you of why you started. They will give you the strength to keep going when you feel like you have nothing left to give. But here's the key, you have to be intentional about who you allow into your life. You have to be discerning about the energy you keep around you. Not everyone who is in your life right now is meant to go with you to the next level. And that's okay. It's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. Because your growth, your evolution is more important than holding on to people or situations out of habit or comfort. But let me tell you something. Failure, as we call it, is not what defines us. It is not the measure of our potential, our abilities, or our future. In fact, I believe with every fiber of my being that those moments of failure, those times when we miss the mark, are the very moments that propel us toward the extraordinary. They are the fuel that drives us toward greatness. You see, life is not about avoiding missteps. It's not about trying to be perfect. It's about what we do when things don't go according to plan. It's about how we rise after we've been knocked down. It's about the resilience we build when things don't go our way and the determination we discover when the world tells us no. Think about the most successful people you admire, those who seem to have achieved what most of us only dream about. Do you think they've never experienced setbacks? Do you think their journey was a smooth ride with no bumps along the way? Absolutely not. Every single person who has achieved something significant, something meaningful, has had to face disappointment, frustration, and hardship. But here's the secret. They didn't let those moments define them. They didn't give up. Instead, they use them as fuel to push them forward. When we experience defeat, it's easy to get caught up in the narrative that we've somehow missed our opportunity. We start to believe that maybe we aren't good enough, that maybe we don't have what it takes, that maybe this dream we've been working toward just isn't meant to be. But let me tell you, failure is not a sign that you're not good enough. It's not a message that your dream is out of reach. Failure is a teacher, a mentor, a guide, and if we listen closely, it will show us the way forward. Each time you fall short of your goal, each time something doesn't work out the way you planned, there is a lesson to be learned. And if you can take that lesson, if you can learn from it, you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next opportunity. Every misstep is an invitation to grow. Every disappointment is a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey towards something greater. Let's look at those moments when things didn't go right. Think back to a time in your life when you tried and didn't succeed. Maybe it was a job you didn't get, a relationship that didn't work out, a project that didn't come together the way you envisioned. Now think about what you learned from that experience. Maybe you learned something about yourself that you hadn't realized before. Maybe you discovered a strength you didn't know you had. Or maybe you found a new direction that turned out to be exactly where you were meant to go. You see, every failure is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to dig deeper, to reassess, to recalibrate, and to come back stronger. It's an opportunity to grow into the person you need to become in order to achieve the dream that's calling you. Because the truth is, success doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of the work you put in. It happens because of the effort, the persistence, and yes, because of the times you didn't get it right. You can't expect to reach the top without first stumbling along the way. You can't expect to achieve something great without first experiencing setbacks. But here's what you need to remember. Those setbacks are not the end of the story. They are part of the story. They are what make the story worth telling. There is no such thing as an easy path to success. There is no shortcut to achieving greatness. Every single step, every single challenge, every single failure is a necessary part of the journey. And if you can embrace those moments when things don't go right, if you can see them for what they truly are, a chance to grow, a chance to learn, a chance to get better, then nothing can stop you. The road to achieving your dreams is not going to be smooth. There will be detours. There will be bumps. There will be moments when you question whether it's even worth it. But I'm here to tell you that it is worth it. Every time you fall short, you are being prepared for something greater. Every time you don't succeed, you are getting one step closer to the person you are meant to be. Let me tell you something personal. I've had my fair share of disappointments. There have been times in my life when I thought I had it all figured out, only to realize that life had different plans for me. But each of those moments, each of those experiences where I didn't get what I wanted led me to something even better. Each time I thought I'd failed, I was being redirected to a path that was even more aligned with my purpose. And that's the beauty of it, my friends. Sometimes the things that seem like the biggest letdowns turn out to be the greatest blessings in disguise. When you fall, it's not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you're growing. It's a sign that you're learning. It's a sign that you're being molded into the person you need to be in order to achieve the dream that's on your heart. Because let me tell you, the dream you have inside of you, it's not an accident. It's not random. That dream was placed inside of you for a reason. It's part of your purpose, part of your destiny. But in order to achieve it, you have to be willing to go through the process. And that process includes falling down. It includes making mistakes. It includes experiencing disappointment. But here's the good news. Every time you get back up, you're stronger. Every time you dust yourself off and keep moving forward, you're one step closer. You are being prepared for something greater, something more profound, something more impactful than you can even imagine. But you have to be willing to keep going. You have to be willing to see those moments of failure not as the end, but as the beginning of something new. When we look at failure through this lens, everything changes. Instead of seeing it as something to be ashamed of, we see it as a stepping stone. Instead of letting it crush our spirit, we use it to fuel our drive. Instead of letting it stop us, we let it propel us forward. Because failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of the journey to success. It is the process of becoming who you are meant to be. And the sooner you can embrace that, the sooner you can step into the fullness of your potential. So, the next time you find yourself in a place where things didn't go the way you hoped, I want you to remember this: it's not the end. It's not a reflection of your worth or your ability. It's a moment of growth. It's a stepping stone. And if you can learn to see it that way, if you can use it as a tool for your development, there is nothing that can stop you. It's so easy, isn't it, to look at our mistakes, our setbacks, and immediately think, why me? Why now? What did I do wrong? But I want you to pause right there. I want you to reframe that thought. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? Because every single one of those moments, no matter how painful, no matter how difficult, is a teacher in disguise. You are not where you are by accident. You have not experienced the things you've experienced by chance. Every disappointment, every time something didn't work out, every door that was closed was leading you somewhere if you have the courage to see it that way. The times we feel like we failed are not just random occurrences. They are part of a bigger plan. A plan that is leading you towards something even greater than you imagined for yourself. You see, the problem is that we often get caught up in the idea of success as a straight line. We think that if we just do everything right, everything will go our way, but life doesn't work like that. Life is full of twists and turns, highs and lows, detours and roadblocks. And it's in those unexpected moments, those challenges, those missteps where we find out what we're truly made of. Think about it. If everything came easy to you, if you never had to struggle, if you never had to face disappointment, where would your strength come from? Where would your resilience come from? How would you ever know the depth of your own courage? It's the moments when things fall apart, when the road gets tough, that you discover your true power. Let me share something with you. Throughout my own journey, I've had countless moments where things didn't go the way I planned. Moments where I thought, this is it, I'm done. I've been turned down, overlooked, underestimated. I've faced rejection, loss, and defeat. But let me tell you, every single one of those moments was a blessing in disguise. I didn't know it at the time, but each of those experiences was preparing me for something greater. Each of those so-called failures was setting me up for something I never could have imagined. And the same is true for you. Whatever it is you're facing right now, whatever it is that didn't go according to plan, I want you to know that it's not the end of your story. It's not a dead end, it's a detour. And detours, my friends, often lead us to places we never would have gone on our own. Life has a way of redirecting us, of pushing us toward growth, even when we don't realize it. And sometimes that growth comes through the experiences that feel the hardest. But those hard experiences, they are the very things that are going to make you who you are. They are the crucible that is refining you into the person you were always meant to be. And let me tell you something else. Those moments of failure, those times when you felt like you couldn't go on, they don't just teach you about yourself. They give you the compassion, the empathy, the understanding to lift others up along the way. When you've been through the fire, you know what it's like to feel the heat. You know what it's like to doubt, to fear, to feel like you've lost your way. And because of that, you are in a unique position to help others navigate their own journey. Ladies and gentlemen, before we close today, I want to remind you of something that can change the course of your life. It's a truth that we all know deep down, yet sometimes forget when the storms of life hit. That truth is, never let go of your dreams, your hopes, or the purpose that is planted within you. No matter how tough the road becomes, no matter how many setbacks you face, you must keep moving forward. Life, as we all know, isn't always easy. There will be moments when you will feel like you've done everything you've got, only to find yourself staring at a wall that seems impossible to climb. There will be days when you are exhausted, when nothing seems to be going your way, when you question whether it's all worth it. But those are the moments that define who you are. Those are the moments that test your spirit. And those are the moments that ask you one simple question: will you keep going? Because that's what it comes down to, doesn't it? The decision to keep moving when everything in you wants to stop. The choice to keep pressing forward even when the path ahead looks unclear. That's where your strength lies. That's where your resilience is born. You see, it's easy to keep going when things are going well, when life feels good, when everything is falling in place, when you're winning. It's easy to stay motivated. But what happens when things don't go as planned? What happens when life throws you a curveball? That's when the real test begins. That's when you have to dig deep and find the strength within yourself to keep going, even when the odds are stacked against you. Let me tell you, each of us is capable of far more than we think. We are stronger, more resilient, and more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. But sometimes life has a way of making us doubt that. Sometimes the challenges we face make us question our own abilities. But here's what I want you to know: those challenges, those obstacles, they are not there to defeat you. They are there to strengthen you. They are there to show you what you're made of. You've got to believe in yourself even when the world doesn't. You've got to hold on to your vision, your purpose, and your faith even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Because the truth is, the journey to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists and turns, highs and lows. But every setback, every disappointment, every challenge is a stepping stone. It's part of your story. It's shaping you into the person you need to be to achieve what you're destined for. When you're in the middle of a struggle, it's easy to feel like you're the only one going through it. But let me tell you, you're not alone. Every great person you've ever admired has faced their own set of challenges. They've all had moments when they wanted to give up. But what sets them apart is that they didn't. They kept going. They persevered. They pushed through the pain, the doubt, the fear, and they kept their eyes on the prize. So when you feel like giving up, I want you to remember this: everything you're going through is preparing you for what you asked for. The struggles you're facing today are building the strength you'll need for tomorrow. The lessons you're learning now will serve you in ways you can't even imagine. So don't let the setbacks make you quit. Don't let the challenges make you doubt your path. Because the only way you'll ever reach your full potential is if you keep going. I've seen it time and time again, people who were on the verge of giving up, who were ready to throw in the towel, but something in them said, keep going. And because they didn't give up, because they kept pushing, they broke through. They achieved things they never thought possible. That could be you. That will be you if you make the decision today that no matter what, you're going to keep moving forward. There's a saying I love: it always seems impossible until it's done. And isn't that the truth? When you're in the thick of a challenge, when the road ahead looks uncertain, it can feel like you'll never get through it. But I promise you, you will. You are capable of overcoming whatever life throws your way. You have everything you need inside of you to reach your dreams. But you've got to keep going. You've got to stay committed to your vision, no matter how hard it gets. The journey isn't going to be easy. There will be times when you stumble. There will be moments when you fall. But falling isn't the end. It's just a part of the process. Every time you get knocked down, you have a choice. You can stay down or you can get back up. And let me tell you, getting back up is where your power is. It's in those moments of struggle, of challenge, of pain that you grow the most. It's in those moments that you discover what you're really made of. And here's the truth: no one else can do it for you. No one else can make the decision to keep going. That decision has to come from within you. It has to be a commitment you make to yourself that no matter what happens, no matter how many times you fall, you will always get back up. You will always keep moving forward. You will never stop. Because let me tell you, the only way you fail is if you give up. As long as you keep going, as long as you keep striving, you are not failing. You are learning, you are growing, you are becoming. Every challenge you face, every setback you encounter is part of the journey. It's part of what's shaping you into the person you are meant to be. So don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your purpose. The road may be hard, the journey may be long, but it's worth it. Every step you take, every challenge you overcome is bringing you closer to the person you are destined to be. And when you finally reach that moment when you achieve what you've been working for, when you stand at the top of the mountain and look back at everything you've overcome, you will realize that every struggle, every obstacle, every moment of doubt was worth it because you didn't give up, because you kept going. So as we close today, I want to leave you with this: you are capable, you are strong, you are resilient, and you have within you everything you need to achieve your dreams. But it's up to you. It's up to you to keep going when the road gets tough. It's up to you to believe in yourself when no one else does. It's up to you to never give up. The power to succeed is in your hands. The question is, will you keep going? Will you rise up when life tries to knock you down? Will you stay committed to your vision no matter what challenges come your way? I believe in you. I know that you have what it takes. So keep moving forward, keep pushing, keep striving, and never, ever give up, because your story isn't over yet. Your best days are still ahead of you, and the world is waiting for the greatness that only you can bring. Thank you.